You got something?
I do. So Progressive, I just got access to Progressive. It's called Prove. I can get on there to verify that insurance, while we're waiting on insurance to be faxed or emailed, I can actually get on there and print off verification of insurance while we're waiting on agents and all of that. So if we're waiting for a long time, you guys can come to me, and all I need is the VIN number of the car, and it'll populate right there. Just Progressive. Yes.
That's
I'll give you my login.
Is that to verify the type of insurance they have?
What's that? It'll tell you everything. It'll tell you their deductible, I mean, for comprehensive collision, all of it. So I just got access to that. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to spend a little bit of time going over some information with you guys, okay? We're going to go fast and furious. So, a lot of information, a little bit of time, so let's go ahead and need some help. So, Scott, you're going to be my note taker, okay? Anything we talk about that if you think is valuable, if this team is going to benefit from, I want you to write it down, and you're going to share it with the team afterwards, put it in a Word document, email now, go with that. iPhone, who has an iPhone? I do. Okay, Cam, I want you to record this. Okay, so open the microphone, record this. If at any point anybody needs a reminder of what we're talking about discussing, you're going to be the guy that they're going to go to, or you're going to find out who needs that help and share that information with them. Okay, so it's a total team effort that we're doing this for. Paul, behind you, I need you to write the word hustle on that board. Okay, well, he's writing the word hustle. Somebody, Kyle, let's go with you. It's your birthday. You get picked on today. What's hustle mean to you?
Hustle is the aggressive sense of urgency.
Okay, sense of urgency, hustle, right? What else did you say?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Dennis, what's hustle to you?
Moving fast, getting it done.
Okay, are we good with that as a team? We're good with that definition? Aggressive, urgency, moving fast. Anybody else want to add anything before we move forward on hustle?
Thinking ahead.
Thinking ahead. Okay? We're going to use hustle as our theme of this meeting and the theme of the week that we're going to go through in these last 8 days. And so you all just agreed on what hustle means as a team. And so when you turn to your buddy or turn to somebody else and you know someone needs a little hustle, they're not going to give you that blank stare of what might they talk about. Okay? Because you all just agreed on what it means. So, we're talking about this morning leads. Okay, I'm going to spend some time on leads. And I have gone around to store done this presentation multiple times. Okay, and that's good news for you because what I'm talking about, I've seen work, I've seen success with it, I've seen it put into practice. And I'm going to share some data points with you first and foremost. So stick with me. We're spend a half hour or so going through this. Those that are in attendance, again, are probably going to need this information too. So that's where I'm relying on a few of you to be able to provide that information to them. Okay? All goes back to what? Thank you. Okay. So, let's talk about where we're at. Okay, leaderboard. You know I don't present anything that doesn't have any factual data to back it up. So, if I look at January 1st to January 20th, I pulled this right out of Oplogic. There's some key things in here. Okay, I'm going to share those with you in just a second. There's a lot of information on here. Information is only as good as what you put in, is what we get out of it, right? So, this is taking a look at your work plan items accomplished, how many emails, how many calls, how many texts, how many car films, how many deliveries, and how many appointments. Those are kind of our main topics, right? Isn't that the stuff we're always talking about when I'm here talking to you one-on-one? Perry's talking to you, Scott's talking to you, we're talking to each other. Isn't that kind of what we're looking for? Appointments, what's the kind of activity you're doing, and things like that. I've got some prizes of unspeakable value to share with you this morning. Okay, so let's see who did what. Tad's not here this morning, but Tad completed 82% of his work plan in the last 20 days. Okay. Is that good? Is that bad? Well, we're going to find out here in just a second. He was the highest in the team. Also, with his emails, 251 emails he sent in the last 20 days. This had the most amount of messages sent in the last 20 days, 385 messages sent in some form or fashion. That doesn't mean 385 customers. That means correspondence that's tracking between either a specific customer or multiple customer systems. So, Vince, nice job on that one. Vince was also the leader of the pack when it came to car films, with 39 car films being sent out in the last 20 days. I'm gonna take a look at the rest of the group here in just a second, once I get past a few more of these little stuff. Cam, we talked about it, right? 15 deliveries so far, 10 on the news, what I had when I pulled this data on Monday, and 5 on the pre-owned side for 15, so nice job to you. And then the last one here, last column we're looking at is appointments. This had 29 appointments that were in the system. Okay? So if I count my stars, Vince, for data that we're looking at, appointments, card films, emails, you had 3 of the main 5 or 6 categories that we're looking at. So nice job to you. So first prize of the day of unspeakable value. Okay, you get your choice of gift cards. They're all $15. You can pick. Take it easy, okay? Don't shake me down. Okay? Now, those are our leaders. What are we doing as the rest of the group? Well, I got some news that, to be honest with you guys, kind of shocked me a little bit. And not too happy to share this info with you, but we need to work on ways to figure out how to, what's the word on board? Hustle, because that's what it boils down to. If I look at the rest of the crew, I see that nobody even came close to 82% of their work plan being done. Okay, the next highest on my board happened to be 31% of their work plan being completed. For a team total, because it's a team effort of 17% of our work plan being completed. We know that customers aren't just walking through the door, right? Especially in today's weather, it's freezing cold. I'm not coming out of my house unless I have a really good reason to, right? The customer's in the work plan. That work plan is where our time needs to be spent. Agreed? Okay. So, most of us have families. Most of us are here to earn a paycheck, I would hope, right? Not working for free. I don't work for free either. If I go home tonight and I look at my wife, look at my daughter, and didn't sell a car today, don't you think I want to look at them and say I put my best foot forward? I did everything I could? I don't know if that necessarily tells them I did everything I possibly could. Go with that. Car films. You've heard me talk about car films, and I've talked about it, right? Vince has 39 of them. The rest of the crew, we didn't even add up to, that's 2 plus 4 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1. What is that, maybe 14? In fact, on that board? Vince, why do you send car films?
It creates engagement.
Okay, that's the key word. Hustle, engagement. Okay, Vince, write engagement on that board, okay? Okay, let's see if you can spell this one.
Make it happen.
Okay,
That's not gonna happen.
Say
Very helpful.
engagement.
Hold it.
Right? Isn't that the name of the game when it comes to these leads?
No cheating. He's Googling it.
That's all right. Don't pay attention to him, he's gonna do his thing over there, right? Because he gets the engagement. The rest of us need to understand the engagement piece. The point of the lead, the point of the work plan, the point of texting, calling, emailing, doing those things is, look, the person's not physically here, right? I need to drive engagement. I need to get these people in order to start communicating with me and talking with me. Doesn't video do that, right? In today's world, today's society? And look, you know, again, this isn't a beat-down session. This is understand where we are and where we're trying to go. You guys have a luxury of having this building to pull these cars in. I pulled a guy from Alpha to Cadillac 2 weeks ago, and the first thing he did, take a car film. You know what he didn't have? A place to go take the car film. He had to go outside in the cold and put his coat on and go broom the car off and go out to take the car film. I didn't tell him to go take the car film. He knows the value of the car film. At Alfa Romeo, you don't have people walking in to buy Alfa Romeo. You got to go find your customer. It's back to the market. Okay? So, there's some work that needs to be done here. There's some opportunity that's being left for us to be able to accomplish. Is that agreed upon? Okay, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I also know. If I look at the same date range, the 1st through the 20th, here's what I see. If I look at internet phone up to walk-in closing percentages, right? Perry talks about closing for growth, right? Or negotiating for growth. We are closing 51% in this time span of our walk-ins. Is that good? Is that bad and different? We'll find out in the next slide. Okay, we're closing 17% of our phone ups. And we're closing 3% of our internet. That's your data. That's this team. Okay? Now, how's that team doing in comparison, and what's that data mean? Well, I can tell you this. That 3% of internet industry average in 2024 was 10%. You've heard me talk about that before. Okay? So we got some work to do with the internet. 39 car films. Don't you think car films is probably a good way to drive engagement? If I look at our lead sources here for a second, right? I've talked about this before. Our leads as a company, 74% of the leads that we sold were internet leads. Whether it be Cadillac, Chevy, LCM, doesn't matter. Look at it as a conglomerate. So the biggest slice of the pie happens to be internet. We're only closing at 3% of them. Imagine if we bumped that up to maybe 6. How many more deals we could find that's sitting out there that we're not capturing? 25% happen to be the phone, and 0.4% happen to be just straight up walk-in. Again, we're waiting for that customer just to walk in today, and I'm just going to sit back and figure out, I'm going to wait till that one guy shows up. You're not giving yourself the best opportunity. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. So, closing benchmarks. The benchmarks we said right now needs to be about 10%, right? That just gives us the industry average. We know we want to be better than average. Okay, but we need to get to at least the benchmark. If I look at my phone ups, we're at 17%. Okay, benchmark is 30% on the phones. Now, kudos to this team. You guys by far are closing the highest percentage of walk-ins at 51%. Okay, benchmark is 50%. So you have surpassed the walk-ins, but here's the thing. As a pie, that's such a small portion of the pie, right? We're missing out on all these other opportunities on the phone and on the internet. Understand that piece? So, this is our target. This is what we're doing, okay? If I look at now the leaderboard for, all right, not only for the store, but let's take a look at individual performance. Okay, Vince happens to be a leader in the clubhouse when it comes to closing internet leads for this span of January 1st to the 20th at 9%. Cam, you're not too far behind at 8%. Dennis, you're sitting at 8% of your internet leads closed. And this is now where I ask for your input. How, Cam, are you closing these internet leads? What are you doing?
First of all, if I'm paying them attention, going through whatever BDC is trying to talk to them about, I'm trying to determine those things. I'm trying to look at those notes way more than just firing off emails and texts, trying to see what the engagement has been. Scott's been doing a great job at sending the conversation that they've been having, so you can kind of listen in on that, trying to pick up things. And then you're just attacking it. You're hustling. You're sending, emails, offering to come into the dealership, sending them information, and you're just following up as much as you possibly can. One thing I have been seeing that I think is awesome is that we have these new templates in the Texas feed. Whoever did this 1 through 6 lead responses, I think was awesome. That was an awesome move. Great. All you have to do is add a little bit to it if you want to just change certain wordage. And that's been great. And it's been a great follow-up to days. Hey, you want me to send you a video? Did you get the video? Did you like this? Did you know what I mean?
Okay, let's stop right there. Thank you for that input. Because you're saying something that I'm trying to get at. Okay? And Vince, you wrote the word engagement. You said the word engagement, right? It's going back to that engagement. Guess what he didn't say? I tried to sell the car as soon as the lead came in, right? That's the end goal. But I have to get the engagement to be able to get there, right? They want to understand that piece. I can't just go from A to Z and selling a car in one text. I need to drive that engagement. I need to get responses. I need to try and find ways via video, pictures, correspondence, trust, rapport. All those basic fundamentals have to be built. Okay? Vince, obviously, is someone that sent most amount of car films, had the most amount of text messages. I think that probably correlates pretty well to why you're at 9%.
Just to piggyback off what Cameron said, reading the notes that are in the internet thing are crucial, and utilizing the GM search is crucial. Because finding more information and knowing, for instance, where the payoff is and all that information, the color of the car, the engine of the car, that kind of, if you kind of put yourself in their shoes, you kind of have a great understanding of, what they want, what they need. And then you're able to, send them one hey, I noticed it's got a V6 Blazer, are you still interested in keeping that big power, or are you looking to save money on payment?
Absolutely.
So
Insight have the right information, I can't fulfill their needs or wants. Okay, now, I'll go to the next slide. Okay, Vince, by the way, you get your second gift card. So, you're down to the next two. Take it back.
Do a little Caesar thing, Bible.
Okay, well, at least one left, we can see who gets that one. Okay, here's the thing, you guys. I told you that we were at 3% as a whole. Again, this is a team effort. Yes, nice job to our leaders in the clubhouse for you three, Dennis, Cam, and Vince. But, you know, I see a couple zeros on my board over here. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 on the internet. 3%, 3% and 3%. Team-wise, we're not doing our part with closing our internet leads. Like I said, that's the majority of our business right now. We need to get another, what, 52 you said on the new?
Yes.
Okay? 52 people aren't just going to walk through the door fresh without being online or being on the phone or something like that. We're not going to get there just waiting for stuff to happen. We have to
Hustle.
Okay. So next 8 days, I need your hustle. We need your hustle. You need your hustle. That work plan needs to be where I am mining my business out of. I need to find my customers in there. I need to read the notes, like Vince and Cam are talking about. I need to find engagement. I need to send the car films. I need to do the work. Fair enough?
Sure.
Matt?
Really quickly, Chris, on the topic of these internet things, guys, we're running a little experiment right now, actually, that I just did yesterday with Chris Before-Skate. The Get Inquiry form now on the website requires the customer to enter a phone number now. So, as of today, we should not be seeing many come through that are email only. Now, the trade-off to this, though, is we may get less leads, because there are some people out there, and I've done it, where I'm not comfortable with my phone number, because I know I'm gonna get calls. So, we're gonna run a little experiment here and see how we feel about this. If we see no internet leads start coming through, I need to hear about that. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but keep an eye on it. We should see, though, the few that do come through, should be higher possibility of closing.
Well, that just tells you may have a higher qualified buyer.
Right.
You go put the phone number in, you guys need to be salivating, hey, this person took it a step further, let's go. Okay, you also need to know this now. So that's our data, right? So I'm on kind of level grounded now. We understand what the playing field is. We don't have this fantasy of where we actually are. We know where we actually are and what the work needs to be. So now let me build it back up from there. Understand our customer, right? Today's customer moves brand to brand more than they ever have in their entire history. You guys, I know it better than I do because you had the conversation with your customer. And you know they're cross-shopping you on Jeep or they're cross-shopping you on Hyundai or whatever the case may be. COVID introduced a lot of that, right? Because people had to go find a car. We didn't have a lot of inventory, so they just went ahead and got whatever they could get. 2, customers shop online. 80% of them are finding the car online first. And they will eliminate you as a potential choice online if your reviews are poor. That's why, Perry, this team, this management structure, the ownership cares about these online reviews so much. It's because guess what? If you got poor reviews, I'm not even giving you the time of day. I'm going to eliminate you right then and there. Okay? 2, if your website offerings don't exist, if we don't have our price on there and it says click here for details, or doesn't have any type of chat or current deals or vehicle pictures, we're out. Okay? Ease of obtaining the information they're looking for. If it's too complicated or it's hidden, I'm out. I want to be easily accessible to the information. And look, we're all consumers. We know that too. We do the same thing. More than 80% of new car buyers are experienced car buyers who are most likely to use a hybrid online and offline car buying approach. They start shopping online first and want to finish in the store with you face to face. Okay? If you know your customers' habits, you know how to fulfill them. They're starting online. Your goal is how do I get them to the point where they choose me to come in the store? Because you're not the only one they're talking to. So how do I get them to choose me and be with me face to face? Consumers purchase a new car mainly driven by need. First-time car buyers often purchase cars due to changes in their lives. Okay? Due to a fragmented buying approach, the buying cycle is longer for these customers compared to a customer shopping in person. That is so important. Because sometimes you guys, and I do the same thing, so it's just you versus me, We get discouraged when that is a 90-day-old lead and Perry's sitting at your desk, hey, you called this one yet? You're like, I called this one 50 times, it never answered the phone. What else do you want me to do? The reason we're on it is because it's a longer buying cycle. We know the data, we track the VIN numbers, so does General Motors, and so does Chevy, and all these big guys that say, look, that lead came into your store 90 days ago, but they went and bought it maybe 120 days later. It's a longer buying cycle. So we have to watch what we're saying, how we're saying it, because that consumer is in market longer than if it was just face-to-face. Almost all new car buyers visit a dealership to take a test drive before making a final decision. The test drive has a massive impact on a final decision. 2 dealerships, 2 test drives is your average, right? And that's just the math on it. But the test drive is the emotional part. I'm getting invested now. I want to own it. I feel it. I can see myself driving it. And I know the characteristics of the car and how it operates, and that fits my style. Right? So customers want to interact with it. Your last point here, okay, back to the car film stuff. YouTube is commonly used for research among all new car buyers, especially first-time buyers and your 100% EV buyers are using YouTube to research. 79% of them use video to research a car. You wonder why I'm hitting the car film so heavy? Because they're telling you I'm using video. Okay? So, that's our customer. Let's talk about this. How many of you remember this 30-day rule? I talked about this 30-day rule thing. Anybody remember this whole thing? Okay, let's refresh on it. 30-day rule isn't my rule. I actually got it from Jeb Blount. Jeb Blount is a sales trainer. Okay? Jeb Blount says this: the prospecting you do in this 30-day period will pay off over the next 90 days. So simply put, if you miss a day of prospecting, it's going to tend to bite you sometime in the next 90 days. Miss a week, you're going to feel it in your commission check. Miss the entire month, and you're going to take your pipeline. Fall into a slump and wake up 90 days later desperate, feeling down, and how the heck did I end up here? Your work plan is meant to be worked daily because you need to be on top of your prospects daily. Many of you had a great month last month, which is phenomenal. But I probably can guess that it took away some of your time in your work plan. Guess what that means? Now you're trying to restart your pipeline. And when you got to restart your pipeline, you feel the effects of it dramatically in that current month because typically it's going to take a few weeks to be able to get that customer back around. Is that a fair statement?
Fair.
Okay, so we need to continue to hustle and keep that pipeline going. If you got a 3-car day, that's great, but guess what? Can't stop your prospecting. You need to find ways to be able to still prospect and work your work plan. That cannot be the thing that gets dropped off. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. So let's say December, we got Greg. He stopped prospecting and working his work plan because he's busy with end-of-year deals. It's easy to become distracted during the holidays with things that were way more fun than prospecting. 90 days later, he's got a pipeline that was stale and stalled. So he ignored the 30-day rule. Fast forward to March, Greg's in a slump. His sales numbers are way down, and his managers are on him to close more deals. Greg thinks, I have a closing problem, right? And all the managers say, well, you can't close. The reality is, he's got a prospecting problem. Internet car sale leads can take anywhere from 14 to 90 days to develop. So he stopped in December, guess who's feeling the effects of it in March? Greg, right? So that's part of our problem. We can close, right? We have people in this building that can close. But are we doing the necessary work up front to keep that pipeline full of opportunity? Okay? Perry, if you would, write pipeline on that board right now. Okay. So here's a prospecting technique. This is called the law of replacement. Okay, so now you know the 30-day rule. Law of replacement is this. You must constantly be pushing new opportunities into your pipeline so that you're replacing the opportunities that are naturally going to fall off. Basically meaning this, if Becky's got 30 prospects in her pipeline, her closing percentage, let's say, is 10%. She closes one deal. How many prospects are still in her pipeline? Most people are going to say 29, right? Because she had 30, she closed at 10%, so you have one that she sold, so I got 29 left. The real answer is 20, because Becky's got a 1 in 10 probability of closing a deal. meaning that, on average, she's likely only to close one deal out of 10 prospects in her pipeline. The point is, based on their average closing ratio over the long run, she needs to work an additional 9 customers for that one car deal to keep it healthy and full. We know that everybody can buy a car, not all 30 are going to be buying a car. They're naturally going to fall off or fall out. There's something that's going to happen in their life. Or some people are going to buy elsewhere, whatever they keep in view, can't go wrong. So she doesn't need to just go ahead and find another 1 prospect to get herself back up to 30. She needs to go find another 9 to be able to close another 1 car deal. See how the math is playing?
At 10%.
At 10%. So she got 2 things she can do: find more people or up the closing percentage. Right? That's the simple math. That's why you got to keep working this pipeline to its maximum. Okay, and we got a few slides left. So how do we convert more leads? Well, we start with our quality and our quantity of responses. Okay, Venn diagram. Nice job, Paul. Okay, quality and quantity. What am I saying? How am I saying it? And how often am I saying it? So our quality, use the templates as a starting point. Candy brought it up. I reworked the templates because I felt we needed a refresh. Okay, now, they are templates still. They are not meant to be sent on their own. I didn't build them to give you the cheat sheet. I don't know every situation about your customer. That's why you need to read the notes. Fill in the rest of the conversation from there. Okay, you know when that lead comes in, sometimes customers tell you specific things. Or you do a GM search, you know certain things. The template is the starting point. Prepare before you respond. Say, please read the notes. Please read the situation. One of the worst things I see happen, it's really not, is that when the BDC does set a sales appointment, and guess what we do? We just send an initial inquiry email to the customer and basically say, thank you for your inquiry. What questions do you have? They already set an appointment. Pick up where they left off. Remember the convenience and the ease of doing business with you the customer said they wanted? You need to make it easy. Did you take the time to read it? If you didn't, now we need to hustle. Okay? Be conversationalist. Ask questions for clarification if you don't understand something. Don't assume. Don't assume they just have insurance. Don't assume that they come up with $1,000 down. Ask your questions. And so that's our quality.
Guys, just to piggyback on this is the reason why I'm sending you guys the phone calls, right? So maybe you can pick up something in there, like we had a guy that had surgery, right? So a great response would be, hey, how are your knees doing? How did your surgery go? You know, that shows that you care, right? So
I had a sales consultant at he tagged me on a note that he wanted to know how do I handle the situation. The customer's mother died 2 weeks ago, and he kept getting it started up in the work plan. Like, well, don't say anything about the car deal at this point. You know, if you reached out to this customer and you have a relationship, which he did, just simply ask her, hey, how's it going? You okay? Just be a human. Let the car deal come later at that point in time, but be in a conversation like just get your foot in the door.
Car deal, that's going to come just from being a human and making sure.
They appreciate that. They come around because, you know what, I like this person. People like do business with people they like. So let's take a look, right? Real world examples. Okay, here's a poor example of one of our Carfax trade-in leads. This is from your store. Okay, I'll pull this directly from it. We know these Carfax trade-in leads are everybody's favorite. I understand that. But don't we need used cars? Tom, do we need used cars?
Yes.
Yes. So it's very tough to see. I'm just going to read it quickly for you. This lead had a comment that came in at the very, very onset. This is what's happening. This was a chat. Basically, the customer says, would you be interested in buying a 2016 Lincoln MKC? Tom, do you want a 2016 Lincoln MKC? Are you interested in something like that? Yes. Okay? They're not looking, they told you, the trader purchased another vehicle. Straight up, I just want to sell. So, again, they say in the chat, will you buy my car? An agent gets involved. Hello, my name is Sheikh. I'm happy to assist you with your inquiry regarding the sale of your vehicle. To confirm, are you interested in trading the vehicle in or just selling it? Customer says, just to sell. Thanks for confirming. Year, make, model, 2016 Lincoln MKC. They go, thank you. They got a correspondence here. They get the name, all that good stuff. How soon are you looking to sell the car? Within a week, or maybe 2, they say. Thanks for letting us know. What's the mileage? 125,000 miles. What email address is best to reach you regarding any offer we may have for your vehicle? They give the email address. Okay? As we are closing for the evening, I will request that you are contacted by a member of our internet sales team as soon as possible once business hours resume. Did they not give you a lot of information? Do we not know a lot about this customer at this point?
Absolutely.
Okay, and Rob talks about all the time. Can we do a lot of this stuff remotely? So that way it's not bogging you down, wasting your time, or Tom said, you know what, I looked up that VIN number at the salvage title, I want that car, versus calling them up and bringing them in, they're doing the whole song and dance, only to waste yours and their time. You got almost everything you need. There's a few other pieces that are missing. So, this is what I see, right? They gave us all this stuff, just like I call it out there. This is what happened with that. We basically get the lead reassigned, all that stuff, okay? I find out, well, let's start with this first one here, because I got that one up top. The vehicle went in up here basically as a vehicle's interest in Oplogic. Oplogic made a mistake, okay? And we know what happens sometimes. So Oplogic didn't put that vehicle as a trade. So because of that, I'm going to show you when this email was sent, there was no reference to the car whatsoever that they were looking to trade in. It basically was blank. There was no data in there at all.
Are you talking about template?
Yes, talking about the template. The template didn't know what to pull because it wasn't entered as a trade-in. So you gotta proofread and always double check for accuracy. Unless stated by the customer, they want to be communicated with a certain way, call, text, and email. They gave us their cell phone number. I see an email was sent, but I see no logging of a phone call or a text message that was sent. Nowhere in that chat did the customer say, I only want to talk to you. Okay, we always know the call is what we're going for first because that's a live person, live opportunity to communicate and talk to that person. All we did was send an email. The other thing is this, notice the time when we came in was 10:05 p.m. Start making inferences, start gathering information, and start thinking, okay, if I call this person at 9 o'clock and it goes right to voicemail, maybe they're not up yet. I need to set a reminder for myself for maybe later in the afternoon to call back. I'm still going to send my text, I'm still going to email them, but I need to resurface this later in the day. Maybe they're, I don't know, work the night shift, or they're up late, or whatever the case is. But it's gathering information, looking at data. Okay, so here's the next page on this. Here's the email that was sent. Hello, Joanne, my name is sales consultant with. When you were on our website, basically it's a template. All they did was send a template, and right here, we would love to purchase your blank. Okay, the template didn't pull the trade information because it got put in, like I said, in Oplogic in the vehicle of interest spot versus the trade-in spot. So all we would have to do is update the profile. Again, it's a computer system. This thing sometimes makes mistakes. It's our job to proofread it and make sure it's good to go. So, bottom line here too is, please let me know if the blank is still available. There's hardly even in there. Okay? Customer opened this email because I seen it was green that they opened it. Do you think that is ease of doing business? That the customer's got a vote of confidence that we know what we're doing? No wonder why they ghosted and didn't respond or say anything back. So that can't be the case. That's not good. That can't happen. So here's what needed to happen instead, right? Here's a proper way to do it. I took the template, okay, that was in there, the Carfax trading lead, but I doctored it up a little bit. I added a few pieces here. A few pieces that I added were first and foremost emoji in the subject line. Why the click rate goes up when there's an emoji, I don't know, but there's a lot of data to support that. If you want me to open up the subject line, add a little picture of a car or something like that in the subject line like I did, right? I right click on the mouse, hit emoji, something to add a little flavor to it. Okay, let the customer know you're paying attention. You love to purchase your 2016 Lincoln MKC. I call out the car that they said that they were trying to sell. Buzzwords. We use a software system that considers many different aspects of your MKC to provide you with an accurate, fair market value offer. I'm not lying to them, I'm being transparent, and I'm using buzzwords with them that are going to subliminate some messages that I'm not just some guy behind a desk that's going to go, Yeah, I think it's worth $6,000. We use a software system. People trust technology more than they trust us. And I'm calling that out. Clear communication. If I know I'm going to go to Tom's going to need certain things to be able to put an appraisal together, like the VIN number, maybe a few pictures of the exterior, interior, and the exact odometer, right? Again, I don't necessarily want to bring this customer in just yet, they're just looking to sell it. Let me gather some facts and see if we have something. Please highlight any known issues or damages. Do you have a lien on the title, or do you own it free and clear? I'm trying to gather some facts and information. Okay? Those templates are just a starting point. They're not meant to be sent on their own.
Not also forget that lien is worth $200.
And it's worth $30 a car. And we still need to buy used cars. So it still is of value of you to be able to put that together. Okay, phone calls. We got to be proper on the phone calls. You guys seen my email yesterday, hopefully, where I talked about that. We need to be professional. We are professionals at what we do, and the phone call is sometimes the people's first interaction with us. So when it's an inbound call, thank you for calling Genesis Chevrolet. My name is Chris Gagliano. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with? Not, hello, sales. Right? You know what I'm talking about. That's why it's a team effort, right? Outbound, hello, is Chris available, or is Chris there? I hope you're having a great day. You know what we do sometimes? We say, I hope you're not having a bad day. Why do I say it that way? Right? It's a negative in the conversation. You just introduce a negative in there. I hope you're having a great day. Not just a good day, a great day. My name is Chris. I'm calling from Genesis Chevrolet. The reason for my call is, as Grant Cardone University 101 stuff. Okay, Grant Cardone, I don't know who Grant Cardone is. Okay? The reason for my call, people don't want to be bullshitted. They don't want to be on the phone and you're trying to schmooze them over. Get it out there. All right, the reason I'm calling is your inquiry on our 2016 Lincoln MKC. We're moving that car again. Great news is it's available. I have some information I'd like to provide you. Can we spend a few minutes on the phone discussing? Okay, I'm getting it out there. I'm not wasting their time with that. My brother had to learn that at Merrill Lynch, because Merrill Lynch does cold calls. They have to go through all Bank of America's customers, and they have basically 250 a day that they just have to contact and ask them, will you give me money that I can invest for you? Right? That's pretty tough. They teach them and tell them the same thing. Get the reason out there right up front. People appreciate that. Warm transfers, we're not going to talk too much about that because I've hit that one over the head multiple times with you guys. We have to make sure I'm not just blindly transferring calls. I need to stay on that line and let the customer know, hey, this person's unavailable, I can certainly transfer you to the voicemail box. Please leave a detailed message, or if you prefer, I can take a message for you and you have them reach back out to you. Which do you prefer? Handle that the right way with customers so our calls aren't being dropped. Video sells. Okay, here's the last example I have here. This is a lead I've seen in the system from February 27th. Okay, February 27th. This is in someone's work plan right now. It was on a Camaro that was out of state. It was from Ohio. Called and left a message explaining I'm the manager and would love to help out. Was the last note on the profile. Since then, there's been nothing done to it. Used on it, called, texted, email, whatever the case is. Don't you think if we had a Camaro, this would be a perfect opportunity to use car film? I know at the time of February we had one because they filled out a lead on one. Why did we jump on that right away? It's an out-of-state Ohio. And offer them, hey, great news is I have that car, it's available. I'd like to highlight some of the features for you. What do you want me to show you in the video? That would probably drive some engagement with that customer, don't you think? That's the hustle I'm talking about. Are we just letting stuff sit and go to the wayside? Or are we doing something about it? Or we just want to complain about the cold and no one's coming in and this, that, and the other thing, and I can't do this, I can't do that. No way. We need a hustle. Okay, here's a proper follow-up. This one is done to a T. Lead comes in, we have information, the initial inquiry email goes out, we go ahead, we call the customer, we text, we email, we follow up, we put the work plan notes in there properly, everything is done the way it's supposed to be done. Call, text, email, it's used, and even like this one here. Here's the text. Hello, Jack, thank you for your inquiry on the Ford EcoSport, great choice. I want to drop you a quick note and ask you what questions you have. Most of my customers also have interest in getting a closer look at the vehicle via their computer or mobile device. Would that interest you? Please let me know, as I would be happy to help. Thank you for considering. And they started to introduce the idea of, hey, how do you want to learn more information? Right? Computer, mobile device, how do you want to handle it? And that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's been recorded, there's a relevant template, you build an excitement, great choice. Tasks were recorded, quick response time, done to a T. So we call, text, email every customer every time. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yes. Have a routine to follow. Work within the confines of the work plan, top to bottom, bottom to top. Don't just work top to bottom all the time. If you do that, hopefully what's going to happen is most customers are going to pick up and you're going to work something for a couple hours, maybe you got an appointment, you got something going on. But the bottom then is always going to be neglected. You're going to have to stagger when you work top to bottom and bottom to top. If it's early morning, I'm working top to bottom. Get that fresh off, respond too quickly. Midday, I'm going to start from bottom, work my way up. As we said, even though it's a 90-day prospect, doesn't mean it's junk. It's not garbage. It's still a legitimate opportunity. Stop procrastinating, being a perfectionist, agonizing over what to say. Hustle. Okay, get to it. Limit the dead time to track your numbers. Know the math I shared with you earlier. Okay? Again, this one said no follow-up in a very, very long time. Nothing's been done with it. That's unacceptable. That can't happen. It's been sitting in the work plan bottom for a long time. You've seen me share this with you. This is the last slide I have for you. That have a routine to follow. If you're just winging it every day, you're just going by wherever the wind chooses to take you. Okay? Start with CRM and selling activities in the morning. Work your work plan. Confirm and set your appointments. Set up your day for success. Hopefully mid-morning you have appointments or you got deliveries lined up. You take a lunch, come back from lunch, you work on your appointments, your deliveries hopefully afternoon, and you end your day back in Oplogic, back in the CRM, preparing for the next day. Keeping that pipeline full of opportunities. If you can consistently work on that, you're going to consistently have prospects to follow up with and work with. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. So, last thing we're going to do, quick little quiz. So if you got your cell phones, pull them out. This is only 10 or 11 questions, so this isn't a Perry quiz. That's a 20 questioner. Yeah, made it easy on you. And the last, the prize that's up for grabs is the Popeyes lovely card. Yeah, someone may get lunch today. We'll see. All right, let's see what the heck we got going on here. Load up. Search. Uh-oh. We may have lost the connection. Yeah. We're going to be out on this one.
What's the name of the thing?
I want to take a few guys' time, so if I can give this in a minute, we'll do something different. All right, now, let's see what you got. Oh, look at you now. All right, here we go. So you got either A, go to the website, or scan the QR code.
Yeah.
Fix that guy.
Yeah, Rich and Ellen are going to be out of a job now.
No one has to buy it. You can't do it all.
Nickname.
A few more, yeah.
Batman.
Batman.
Barry, if you win, you got me, right? You get lunch together?
All right, everybody in?
Almost.
There you go. All right, let's go. Okay, first question, what % of customers find the car online first? Correct, 80%. And we talked about that, right? Majority of people are finding the car online first. Not everybody, but a large portion. There we go, Alex, starting us off strong.
Oh, Alex, you want that Popeye.
Okay, this prospecting technique states what you do in a 30-day period will pay off over the next 90. You type in your answer on this one. Yeah, see? Tricky. Okay, 90 days, in 30 days. One of those numbers is a hint. You got 5 seconds. Guys, you guys man. Oh, let's see, the 30-day rule. Okay, that is the 30-day rule that we talked about. That's cool. Okay. Come on, man. What you do over the next 30 days is going to pay off over the next 90. This is going to shake things up. Batman. Batman, we got high.
Nobody's gonna answer. Nobody's gonna know.
True or false? Okay, customers purchase a new car mainly driven by need. This should be easy.
My phone keeps dying.
Okay, that's true, right? I need transportation. I need a car. That's the main thing that drives people to purchase. Batman's killing it. What is the industry average for closing internet leads? Industry average on internet leads. 10%. Okay, obviously we are trying to be there and above that. We're at 3%.
I wanna know.
Batman killing it.
Paul Snow.
No, Batman.
And Batman.
Good job, Paul.
Alright, customers are most likely to work with a sales consultant who, and there's multiple answers. Select all that apply.
Oh.
Paul, I didn't have to hear that.
I don't back.
That's what Batman would make you think.
I didn't say, oh, Paul, listen to me right now.
Alright, let's see. Communicates quickly and professionally and uses tools like car film. You knew I was going to throw car film there somehow.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, we got a little shake-up. Perry's coming up. Batman, Alex, and Perry.
I'd be hungry.
Get that chicken. How do we win and convert more leads into car deals? Again, select all that apply. How do we win and convert more leads into car deals? Following quantity, right? Oh. Speaking up. The more you prospect and work your leads, the less successful you will be.
That's just a matter of speed right there.
Correct.
Whoa.
Oh, man. Wow.
Holy
smoke. What are you doing?
Oh, I read the question wrong.
What are you doing?
I totally read it wrong.
Come on.
I read it wrong.
The target percentage for closing walk-in customers is what? What's the target for walk-in? 50%.
Okay, so everybody got that one.
Everyone got that one, so let's see what we got. Alex?
Yeah.
Barry's got some fairy tales to
Alex
him.
isn't gonna eat the pie.
When a newbie comes in and has a phone number and email address, the best practice is to what? You have both phone and email. Good. Okay, call right away, send a text, and follow up with an email.
More
Alex is gonna run away a little bit.
understood.
Okay, on a scale of 1, no way, 10, absolutely, how committed are you working your work plan and working more details? 1 to 10, how committed are you to working your work plan and closing more deals? I hope we are.
This is slider.
Sliders, so be
No,
careful.
level one. Here.
Okay, 10. Okay. Don't put something over here. We're going with 10, absolutely. Okay? And the last question, again, a scale question. I'm better prepared to handle leads after attending this meeting. 1, disagree, all the way through 5, strongly. Okay, good. So let's see, so with our podium. What do we got?
For his birthday, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, man. Happy birthday, Kyle.
I got your breakfast, I got your lunch.
My God.
Alright, that was a little bit longer meeting, but are we fair? Do you understand what the expectation is? Are we gonna do the hustle?
Yeah.
Okay, now let's work with each other on it,
That was
okay?
very engaging, thank you.
Absolutely. Barry, anything else you got for one, Luke?
No, I just know that, I hope you guys, got something out of it, and let's get better at it.
Alright, have a good day. Have a great day, actually.